just go through whoever has come in. And I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. I'm going to call Chris Coggins up. He was not able to be here on Tuesday. I'm going to give him a moment. Chris, if you just want to come on up, and we'll just do that first.
Hi, Chris Coggins, County Commissioner, District 2, Seat 8. I'm sorry I didn't make it the other night, but the Chamber was gracious enough to let me speak anyway, and I really, truly want to thank them. Anyway, I'm going to do something that most politicians don't. I'm going to give out my phone number for anybody that wants to call me. It's 423-618-9760. And I was asked to run 12 years ago, 8 years ago, 4 years ago. I didn't have time. I run 2 businesses, and they drove me crazy, and that's where I found out that money isn't everything. So, but I'm running to bring the voice of the people back to the table with the county commission, talking to folks. I get a lot of stories about how they're ignored. Some of the meetings I've gone to, I see how that people are frustrated that they're ignored. And the people in my district are concerned about a lot of things: infrastructure, fire, EMS, internet, higher taxes, and no do care to represent them by their elected representatives. And I'm not like that. I've never been too pretentious to talk to anybody. You know, I was raised up poor. I worked my way out of it. I've been on top, I've been in the middle, and I've been below. I don't think I'm too good to talk to anybody. We're not good enough. So, talked about a lot of questions about how come we're raising taxes when we've got so many houses being built. Now, I went and looked this up. In the last 3 years, we've built 3,225 houses in Bradley County. The tax assessment on that is $2.9 million. So every 3 years, we're averaging a gain of taxes of $3 million per year. That comes in after these houses are built. So I don't blame people for wondering why we're raising taxes. We got fire, EMS, Sheriff's Department, the emergency services system struggling every day, yet the school gets 75% of our funding. So I know my competition got up here and talked the other day about how much funding that they've got in the schools, but not once did he bring up anything else. Schools are not the only thing in this county that needs money. Schools get federal funding, state funding. The state funding for schools is $71 million, averaged out over 96 counties. It's $6.9 million per year from the state, not including federal. So I suspect that every time the schools come up and say, and I'm not against schools, folks, I think education's important. And I really like that we're finally getting back into vocational. Vocational is where I made my millions. Not in art, not in football, not any kind of sports, not any special thing that somebody wants to teach. Vocation. Now, I got 2 kids. One needs a vocation, one's smart enough to be in education. And I'm proud of both of them. One's more like me, one's more like the mother. So, but somebody asked me last night, do you support the fire department? This is like a 23-year-old fireman we got in Bradley County. I've been volunteering for 32 years. I'm one of the only volunteers that shows up on every call that goes. 32 years, whether these young firemen like me or not, or think I'm useless because I'm old. So I support fire. I support the Sheriff's Department. I support the EMS, but folks are struggling. I got a call the other day from the northwest part of the county. 40 minutes to get up there to get somebody. Them people in the northwest part of the county still have to run to another house to call 911 because they don't have no internet service. They don't have no phone service. 3 people have died recently up there just because they can't get EMS. We got 13 EMS units. and only average of 6 running. I went to a crash yesterday. There's only 3 EMS units showed up. 3 out of 6, because they can't get the funding to help the very people that pay the taxes to support these special interests that the commission seems to want to run with. We've got police officers or sheriff's officers running around 20-year-old vehicles because the sheriff's department can't get the funding to replace it. One told me he could only run 50 miles an hour running an emergency because he couldn't stop his vehicle. But I guess he's happy to know that Bradley County Schools got $1 million Megatron to watch a school game that we used to watch by sitting on the bleachers. Okay. But anyway, I didn't mean to be so hateful. I thought I was trying to talk fast, but anyway. I appreciate y'all's time. I know I kind of went off to the left on this, and but I want people to know that I'll look at all things, and I'll represent you. If people have a problem, I'll come out there and talk to them. I've got a background of 20 years in business, infrastructure, construction, transportation, 25 years of budgets, 25 years of employment, as an employer. And I thank you for your time. Thank you.
Chris. And I guess part of the rules of, you got 5 minutes. So that's, and I think, Chris, I didn't clearly tell you that, but, this is all about, it started out as an idea to do a meet and greet, just so that the public could get to know the candidates, could get to know who's running against who. And so that's what it's about. And you're welcome to say whatever you want to say, but keep it down, 20, 35 minutes. So. And we're missing a few, so probably go with the one. But I said this at all 4 sessions, but this is a function of our Public Affairs Committee at the Chamber, and this was planned and put on as a benefit to our Chamber members to be able to meet these candidates, and we're very fortunate that Steve Hartline is the chairman of that committee, and so we came up with this idea to involve Mix 104, and it's turned out really nice. So with that, I'm going to ask Steve to come up and kick us off for tonight. Thank you.
That was as inspiring as the others have been. Pretty bad. Sheriff, he's right there. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We are live from the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce. We're on mixtv.tv live, or go back and watch it. And you're listening to Talk 101.3 The Buzz. And as Mike told you, we are going to meet our candidates for District 4 through District 6 for these competitive races here. And here's how we're going to do it, as we've done the last, this is number 4 of 5 on the forums. So I will introduce each race, introduce all the candidates in the race, and you just come on up, and I'll be coming in with each race here. We're going to begin with District 4, Seat A, and we have Scott Donut Gilbert and Charlotte Peak. Please make them welcome.
I figured you wanted us to go in alphabetical order, right? Listen, I'm so thankful to be here. Thank you, Mix 104 and the Chamber, for having this and allow us to come out just to talk about ourselves just for a minute. And I'd like to start off. My name's Scott Donut Gilbert. I was born to Edward and Thelma Gilbert. We own the Townhouse Bake Shop. I have 4 siblings. There's Roger, Larry, Eddie, Debbie, and then me, of course, being the youngest. And I'm married to Gina and have 2 sons, Creed and Zach Hicks. Hard work, loving each other, and serving others would be our gifts that our parents left us. I was born in the same place that I live now. Went to Oak Grove School, went to Bradley Junior High School, and then on to Bradley High School. I remember as a kid running around here on a bicycle. You couldn't run around here on a bicycle at 10, 11 years old now. I remember riding to the radio station, taking them a dozen donuts and a couple of biscuits, and WCLE with Tom Rowland. And man, that was the times of my life right there. But servanthood is one of my #1 gifts. I love to serve people. I love to serve people. It's just, I get such a joy out of serving people, it's unreal. Bakery. I've owned a bakery for the last 14 years. I bought it for my brothers after my mother passed away. And in the last 14 years, it's taught me a lot. I've had to make payroll. And today is more harder than it was from the beginning. Flour, sugar. You can't get flour and you can't get sugar. Truckers are not trucking it. I had to drive to Gadsden, Alabama the other day just to go pick up some flour. So I know what hard times are like, and I know what it's like to make a payroll. I know what it's like to make a budget. I know what it's like to stick to that budget when it hurts. And that's how I think my experience will play a role in the county commission seat. I've heard a lot of people say, let's get back to normal. Normal's not my goal. My goal's better than normal. Normal was my old bad habits that we all had before the pandemic come along. I want better than normal for this county. I want to get out and work hard. There's more than just budgeting for county commissioners. Getting out in your community and working. Going to the schools, seeing the teachers. Going to businesses. I'll be back to your place, I promise you. I've stopped at businesses in the 4th District. And I promise you I'll be back there. And the 4th District voters, I'll be back at your house again too. You can find me anywhere. I'm all over in a big red truck. I'm at the Townhouse Bake Shop most of the time in the mornings. My brothers and nephews there in the day, and they'll get a hold of me if you need me. And the new future is what we're needing. 4th District, let's lock arms together. And we owe it to our children and grandchildren and the children to come for a better Bradley County. Leadership. So leadership. I've heard a lot of people talking about leadership around here. A lot of commissioners, a lot of people running. Leadership to me, I want to bring something different to the table. I want to bring servanthood. I want to get out and serve people. Servanthood for the seat A for the 4th District, servanthood. Let me serve you, and let us allow the greatest leader of all time to guide and direct us. That's what we need. We need to let the Lord guide and direct our path. In Bradley County, Bradley and Cleveland, we're one of the biggest counties around that ought to know about the Lord. This is where a lot of it starts. Church of God headquarters, Baptists, we got everybody here. We ought to know how to love one another. So, early voting starts April the 13th through the 28th. Election day is May the 3rd. I want you to let your vote be your voice, and together we can make a difference. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, how do you keep such good employees? How does your employees stay? Y'all, my employees don't work for me. I work for them. I love my employees. I care for them. They are my family. I love them dearly, and they come to me anytime they need to talk. When they got problems and situations, we stop what we're doing. We go talk. We figure out the situations. And I thank you for allowing me to come and talk to you today. God bless.
I'm not going to ad-lib this time because I told when I do ad-lib that I talk too long. So I'm going to try to stick to a script for 5 minutes. And if you want to know more about me, you can go to charlottepeak.com. And I'm going to take this opportunity now to tell you what this commission the last 4 years have done pretty much in this statement. So I'm Charlotte Peak. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you briefly about why I'm seeking re-election. I have served as a county commissioner since a midterm election in 2012. Since then, I've worked hard for the 4th District. Some people use the campaign slogan that they want to be a voice for the people, but I say I want to work for you. I say I want to work with you. Everyone knows that I don't sit silently on the sidelines, and I don't make campaign promises either. The only thing I can tell you is that I will continue to work for you if I'm reelected. This commission has worked together on many things this term, one of which is infrastructure. Water, sewer, broadband, and roads. Infrastructure, that's the new buzzword for some campaigns running against incumbents this term. I find it interesting that the majority are using scare tactics with misinformation when it comes to sewer infrastructure. It is best to stick with the facts when you're campaigning, so here are the facts. The county has money to pay for infrastructure from the ARP funds and potential grants from TDEC. There has never been a time in our history that we have had an opportunity like this to invest in our infrastructure for smart growth in our future. 4 years ago, this commission set out on a journey to explore the possibilities of expanding our infrastructure. Commissioner Dennis Epperson spearheaded a master utility plan that will give us direction on how to proceed and where the most need is in our community. A county-wide sewer system is not an option and was never proposed. In the utility plan, many things will have to be negotiated with Cleveland and Ocoee Utilities to accomplish any expansion or creation of any sewer lines. Until that is done, the misinformation being fed by some candidates are just that, misinformation. I have heard some say that 75 feet of sewer line would cost a homeowner $5,000. That is completely incorrect. Sewer lines cost developers $17 a foot in labor and material only. Do the math, a 75-foot line would cost about $1,275 and a sewer tap fee if the utility requires it. Homeowners would not have to tap onto a line if they do not want to. I have constituents call me regularly looking for help for their failing field lines. They don't have any additional property to add field lines, or their ground just doesn't perk anymore. These are the people that want the opportunity to have sewer. Infrastructure must be a priority to continue with the growth we are experiencing and to continue with smart and responsible growth. With growth comes more responsibility for EMS, fire, and rescue, and law enforcement, and our schools. We must look at these departments and their increased needs. EMS and fire have both grown so much, it's almost impossible for one person to oversee both departments efficiently, no matter how good that person is. It is irresponsible of us to expect one person to do all that work, and I look forward to this discussion later when the time comes. I am for less government and more representation. I have proven this during my term as a county commissioner. As a commissioner, one of my jobs is to be a good steward of the taxpayer money and represent you as a taxpayer when it comes to spending your money. I have done that. I have exposed some department budgets that I felt did not use your tax dollar wisely, and I voted against those budgets and stopped giving them a rubber stamp. I think the public should be aware of where your money is going, and I have opportunity to say something about it. I question expenditures all the time that I think should not be spent, and I will continue to watch your tax dollars and speak out. I will also continue to fight against government overreach at the county level and at the state and federal level. I do not believe government should have any power over my personal health decisions or have the ability to take my gun rights away. For that reason, I propose the gun sanctuary resolution supporting the Second Amendment, along with collaboration from Commissioner Erica Davis, the chair of the Law Enforcement Committee. Together, we drafted the resolution modeled after Polk County's resolution and was approved 14-0 by the full commission. And I might add that I had started that with the late Jeff Yarber prior to his death. And then Erica became the Law Enforcement Committee chair, and we finished that together. I also helped fight against government overreach at the state. A representative from Maury County this spring wanted to propose a law that would gut the County Powers Relief Act. The County Powers Relief Act was a law designed to protect constituents from impact fees when building a new house or a new addition to their home. This law would have allowed governments to impose whatever fee they wanted on new homes, which would have cost $9 a square foot or more on a 2,000 square foot home, resulting in additional $18,000 just to build a home. It would have hindered and destroyed the American dream of homeownership for thousands. It would also have been a detriment to our local economy. I love Bradley County, and I invest in Bradley County. I only shop local and spend my tax dollars here. I will always support this community in and out of office, in or out of office. I am passionate about defending the taxpayer. After all, it's my money too. I do not take your vote for granted, and I humbly ask for your vote to vote me back in so I can continue to work for you. Thank you, Bradley County.
I wanted to recognize, we have a couple commissioners that were actually up here, I guess, on the hot seat on Tuesday, Louis Alford and Dennis Epperson. And they're back, and we've got some other ones, Kevin Raper, Cindy Slater, Mylan Blake's here. Also, we've got elected official Sheriff Steve Lawson here. I would just like to welcome them. They're here to support the rest of the commission. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you. Okay, since I'm up here, I'm sorry about that. We'll now go to County Commission District 4, Seat B, and we've got Rich Kinlan. Did I pronounce that right? And Daniel, not now I know why you wanted me to do this.
He's my brother-in-law, so I want to recuse myself.
Okay. Lauderette. Daniel Lauderette will follow Rich. Rich, take it up.
Thank you very much to the chamber and allowing us to come and share our heart and speak. My name is Rich Kinlan. I'm running for County Commissioner, District 4, Seat B. I'm married. I have 5 children, 2 grandchildren. I'm a graduate of Lee University with a sociology degree and a minor in Bible and psychology. I have two sons that are in law enforcement that I pray for dearly. I have one that works for the county, one that works for the city. I have 2 that are in the medical field. My oldest daughter is currently in Box Elder, Montana on a medical contract at an Indian reservation. So I pray for them as well. I want to run for County Commission to make a difference. For the last 19 years, I've been the Director of Probation for Bradley County. I was appointed by Mayor Davis at that time in 2003. Prior to that, Bradley County did not have a probation program. 16 years prior to that, I worked state probation as felony probation. So I have 35 years in total for state and county government. I very much feel like my learning curve, if I was elected as a county commission, is very minimal. I have been before the county commission on many times. I have to present budgets every year. I not only present one budget, but I present 3 budgets. I have a budget for probation, I have a budget for courts community service. That's a 50-50 budget between the city and the county. And I have a Polk County budget. Back in 2016, Sheriff Ross invited me to come over to Polk County, and he wanted me to take over Polk County probation because he knew how I ran Bradley County probation. So I feel like my learning curve would be minimal. I work with elected officials already. Sheriff Lawson on many occasions have called me and said, hey, we're jail overcrowded, or we've got a medical problem with an inmate. Can you help us out? I work very closely with Gayla Miller's office in sessions in criminal court with paperwork and money. I work with the school system in that I'm sports oriented. I do referee basketball, I've refereed football, I've officiated volleyball, so I feel like I'm involved in the community as well. Part of my belief is I believe in term limits. I do not believe that the county commission seats particularly were set up to make careers out of. I believe in term limits. I believe part of the problem in our nation right now is that we got too many career politicians. So I believe very, very, very much in term limits. As far as an agenda, people ask me, do I have an agenda? I tell people I don't have an agenda. I'm one of 14 county commissioners if elected. So I can't tell you I'm gonna lower your taxes, raise your salary. That's not what I would do. What I will tell you though, is I'll be approachable. I'll be accountable, I'll be transparent, and I'll shoot you straight. I believe in shooting people straight. I deal with offenders every day. I say, these are the rules, these are the consequences. So I don't have an agenda per se. Now, there are some discussions that we need to have as we move forward. Charlotte touched on it, there is infrastructure issues. Our community has outgrown our roads. There's homelessness. We have an issue of homelessness in our Bradley County community. Pay for law enforcement and first responders. The last several years, we've kind of been the training ground for other agencies in other counties. We train them and they leave. We got to do better about that. One of the things I would like to see us look towards is a mental health liaison officer. Many of the issues that we deal with when law enforcement goes out are really mental health issues. And it's just not enough for us to put them in jail. We got to deal with those. My son, my youngest son, when he had got hired with the Cleveland Police Department, he hadn't been on the force long, he dealt with a suicide. One thing the pandemic has taught us in the last 2 years is that we have to adapt to change. We have to have an ability to change. I tell my office we pause and pivot quite a bit. Backlog of warrants, backlog of court cases. So we've had to learn to change, to adapt. And I think if we don't move forward and be willing to change, then we stay stagnant. Affordable housing would be another thing. So I'll end with this, with an acronym RICH. Maybe this will help check the boxes for you. So R means Republican. I'm running in the Republican primary. I means innovative. I started the misdemeanor probation program from the ground up in 2003. For 19 years, we have been self-sufficient. Not only self-sufficient, but we gave money back to the general fund. Let that sink in just a minute. 19 years we've done that. We haven't cost the taxpayers anything. C would be I'm Christian, I'm conservative, and I'm committed to Bradley County and the 4th District making it better. And I believe we can make it better. And H, I'm hardworking. When I started the program, one of the things I did as an administrator is I was a caseload carrier. The late Jeff Yarber used to get on me. He was on my advisory board. The first 10 years, I had more cases than anybody. He said, Rich, you can't keep taking on cases. You're administrator. And I said, I'm a worker bee first. I don't ask my people to do anything that I don't always do myself. So I'm hardworking. I'm knocking on doors every day. And you know what? One of the things when God created man, the first thing he did was give him a job. Work is good. Work is important. And last, I would just ask for you to vote for me. I would ask for your support. I'd ask for your prayers. I'll make this real easy. So some people say that the ballot is a little bit confusing. There's a seat A and a seat B. Well, you get to vote on both of them. And on the seat B, I'm the first name on the list. So when you go into that booth, push the first button. And the last thing I'll tell you is that one of my life lessons that I learned from my father was this: agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And I think that is so important in the arena of politics. Thank you again for this time. Again, my name is Rich Kinlan. I'm running for County Commissioner, seat B. Thank you.
My name is Daniel Lauderette. I am a veteran, and I've been a citizen of Bradley County for about 15 years. About 4 years ago, I thought that I had a terminal illness, and I was forced to reevaluate my life and who I was. And that was tough. That's really probably the reason why I chose to run. If I had my way, I would have never run, but after the last 2 years of seeing constitutional skullduggery, I felt like I had to do something. I don't have the pedigree of this gentleman here. I'm not a politician. I don't like speaking in public. But what I do like is meeting people and having empathy and understanding, coming up with solutions to our problems instead of all the name calling that we see online or that we see on the television. What we need is to figure out where the left and the right meet and what can be done at that intersection. Yes, we need infrastructure. You guys kind of stole my thunder, being the fourth person to talk, so it's tough. I'm not going to have anything new to say, really, except to say, you know, when I look at COVID and I think about all the kids that didn't get to go to school, you know, for a year, and all the relationships that they missed out on, and then, as you said, not having access to the internet, missing out on school, probably getting bad grades, and seeing these things, it upsets me. Like I said, over the last 4 years, I had to look at things from another person's point of view, and been incredibly humbled at how life can pummel the common citizen. It blows my mind. This is not the life that I would have chosen. But I feel like the people of Bradley County and the people that I have talked to, they really feel like they're voiceless. They feel like they don't have a representation. It's easy to talk and say all these buzzwords and all this stuff, but that's not who I am. What I bring to this race, what I would bring to the commission is my heart for people. And understanding that with any kind of infrastructure change, with any kind of road, somebody is going to lose part of their yard. Somebody doesn't want sewer, and somebody does. And there's going to be some tough decisions to make going forward in this country. It's easy to say you're a Republican, but what does that mean modern day? Because it seems like it means a lot of things to a lot of different people, and it shouldn't be that way. I was raised for my no to be no and my yes to be yes. If I make a commitment to the people of Bradley County, I will stick by that, one way or the other. That's very important to me. I want to see things get done. I'd like to see the fiber optics throughout the county. I'd like to see the people that want sewer get sewer. I'd like the people that don't want it to be happy with whatever sewer they get. It's time for a change. It's time for real conservatives to run for office and take a stand against this tide of lawlessness. The gentleman I'm running against, Mr. Kenlon, you've worked with people in probation. I want to reach these children before they end up there. I want to see maybe some sort of program in the county, like a mentorship program. I'd like to see an emphasis on trades. I'd like to see an emphasis on manhood and raising up a future generation that cares not only about this country, but about one another. That's all I got to say. I appreciate the opportunity to talk today, and it's just very important that we think about all the intangibles, how our decisions, however minor they may be, affect every citizen in this town and in this county. One thing that I would like to see changed specifically is the situation on Stewart Road. I live off of Michigan Avenue and Royal Oak subdivision, and every day, I got a 4-door truck, and every day people get in the right-hand lane and they try to blow by you just so they can get one car length ahead. Somebody's going to get killed, and I don't want that to happen. Now, I have no idea at the semantics, you do, ma'am, of what that would cost, a bridge, closing off that lane altogether. I don't know. But there's got to be a solution, not only for that issue, but for any other traffic issues. Cleveland is growing exponentially. We have, as another gentleman said, we have a situation with the roads. Most roads don't have a shoulder. Somebody wants to ride their bicycle, they're riding in the road because they don't have any other place to ride. That's not safe for them, it's not safe for the motorists. We've got to come up with ways to get us into the 21st century that tries to help as many people as possible. I thank y'all for your time. God bless.
All right, if you're just joining us and you're listening on the radio, you're not watching, you're listening to the Chamber of Commerce forums continuing. This is our next to last forum. We'll be back on April the 12th. That's Tuesday with the county mayors, candidates, and the school board candidates in the Bradley County schools. Coming up on Tuesday. You're watching MixTV.tv, listening to Talk 101.3 The Buzz. We also appreciate Autumn Hughes being here with the Cleveland Daily Banner, doing an excellent job. All right, let's move on. District 5, and this is Seat A. And we have Bobby Goins not with us today. So we'll be hearing from Rachel Ivy Goins. Make her welcome.
Okay, first I have to tell you something. So I was at a rally the other day and someone said, "Are you running against your ex-husband?" I said, "No, I am not." As far as I know, I'm not related to him. And like Rich Kendall said, on that ballot box, the first one, well, you saved the best for last because I'm after Bobby on the ballot, so vote for me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I'm choosing to run for 5th District County Commission. I was basically raised here 47 years of the 51 years. In the last 24, I've lived in the 5th District County Commission, or in the county. I was blessed to be a part of our school system, starting at Oak Grove Elementary. Beyond blessed with the best mentors and the teachers, the best foundation in elementary. Truett Junior High School, graduating from Bradley Central High School in 1989. I was blessed to be able to be a part of the athletic program there. Awesome mentors. Graduated from Cleveland State Community College in 2001 and began a work history at Permacolor under the founder, Dave Smith, who is no longer with us. Amazing mentor. Being a divorced mom with 2 small children, you learn real quick what it takes to survive, and that's hard work. And hard work does not scare me, it motivates me. It motivates me to work for the people that I love the most, and one of those is the community. I married my husband, Barry, in 2004, and I was blessed to gain 2 bonus boys, so we have 5 children together. It wasn't until 2017, and like most people, you start to look at things a little differently, and sometimes it's good things and sometimes it's bad things. And for me, it was a tragedy. I lost my son, Mason, to an opioid fentanyl overdose, and that is when I began to see our community differently. I started to see things and realize we need to do more. We need to do more, whether it's volunteering, whether it's just having compassion for people. More than just sitting on the sideline waiting for something to happen. If you want to make an impact, it's your personal actions that can change things. The Lord began to work to deal with me in a way that I'd never been dealt with before. The Be the Light Movement of Hope was founded. I began volunteering at the soup kitchen, supporting our local nonprofit organizations. We served on the streets here in Cleveland. We got to know the community that most people wouldn't even speak to. This year will be our 5th annual Light the Night event at the Greenway, where local nonprofit organizations, first responders, city and county officials, local churches, and recovering substance users bring hope to the community by showcasing the organizations and how valuable they are to our community. I was part of starting a petition that would prevent the methadone clinic from coming to Cleveland. That is not what we want for our community. That is not what I want for our youth that's coming up. I've had the opportunity to work very close with ATS The Bridge, which pours into our youth and how the drug epidemic has plagued so many families and causing nothing but destruction. The youth are our future, and we as leaders need to equip them to be ready. That is in education and trade schools. My husband and I were blessed to be a part of the Isaiah 117 house and putting the finishing touches on the outside of the home with the vinyl siding. I've been able to work closely with many rehab facilities in the surrounding communities. I could go on and on, but I am not one to toot my own horn. I do not believe in talking about myself, so this is very difficult for me to get up here and say, I. I say all of that because we as leaders, upcoming and the ones that are in office now, have an opportunity to serve our community. And the way that you do that is you get to know the community. You know the people in the community. You know their needs. We have to do something. We cannot do nothing, but we also need to know that we can't do everything. I want to work for a community that I love and be a part of a change that will impact more than just my family. You see, after a tragedy, you begin to realize it's not about your circle. It's about everybody else as well. I'm asking the 5th District to get out and vote for the person that you see standing up and making a motion that will create a change in our community. I'm going to fight for the people that protect and serve, first responders. I have many first responder friends that their needs are wage increases. We are $6,000 to $9,000 less than surrounding cities. 15 minutes down the road, they can go and make more. I agree with him. We train not to retain. That should be the opposite. We should train them to retain them. And we're only going to do that with higher wages and better benefits. I have a business management accounting degree. I'm currently an office manager. I have owned my own business. My husband currently owns a small business. We believe hard work is part of earning people's respect. It's part of what makes the community the community. I am all for seeing development on the south side. I love that the north side has all kinds of development, but we have some beautiful land on the 5th District side. On the south side, I say south side because when people ask you where you live, they say, oh, you live on the south side. Yes, I do. And it's a beautiful, beautiful part of the county. So I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking that you get out April the 13th and early vote and make your voice heard. Thank you.
All right, we are now going to have our final district, and it'll be District 6, Seat A, Erica Davis and Tommy Ledford. Make them welcome.
Hello, my name is Erica Davis. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for having us here this afternoon. Thank you to WCLE. Thank you to the citizens that are here and that are watching online, and to the other candidates who are in attendance. It's been exciting to hear your ideas and thoughts about what you would do if you are elected or return to the county commission. So thank you for coming out and sharing those with us tonight. Running for office is not easy. How many of you have found that out so far? Winning is not easy either, and neither is serving. Both are very hard work. It's more than just one meeting a week. I spend time every day helping and speaking to someone and trying to make a difference in the 6th District. Since being elected in 2018, my goal has been to work hard for the people of the 6th District. My girls are out here today, and I make them tag along all of the time to put up signs, and they have to come to meetings. So I hope that they can see that I am a hard worker and that they are going to be hard workers one day as well. Emmy plays basketball, and she's definitely one of the hardest working girls out there on the court. And Evelyn is a tumbler and a cheerleader, and I get to sit and watch her every week, and she's definitely one of the hardest working youngest girls in her class. I'm proud to have worked hard and supported issues in the 6th District. Water projects. I have supported 5 different water projects in the 6th, which is a very important issue to many. We all need to have clean water, and we have helped several families and different roads in the 6th District do that, and there are more to come. I actually had a call this week about somebody that wanted to apply for some of our water funds, so we will help them start that project. I have supported fire and an EMS, raises, signing bonuses, new fire trucks and ambulances, but we definitely have more work to do there. As law enforcement chairman, I have been able to help Sheriff Steve Lawson provide new body cameras, car cameras, new tasers, new patrol vehicles, raises, and additional officers for corrections. Sheriff Lawson's out here in the audience tonight. Please stop and ask him, did those improvements help him in his department? I'm sure that he'll back me up today. Supported education. The PI Center is going to change trade education in our state, not just in Bradley County. We are in desperate need of people to learn how to do different trades. I have a trucking company, as many of you know, and we desperately are looking for drivers all of the time. And so this is going to help facilitate some of those children that don't want to go to college, learn how to do a trade and be successful in life. I supported the expansions at Black Fox and North Lee Elementary. My son was one of the first classes to be able to go through at Black Fox and enjoy those new classrooms. And Kim Fisher has thanked me 1,000 times for helping those children get into those brand new classrooms. We've been against government overreach and proud that critical race theory doesn't have a place in our local school systems. I supported projects in the 6 like Freedom Park at Valley View Elementary. I drive by that park every afternoon going home, and people are out there enjoying that new pavilion and the walking track. So I'm very proud to have supported Freedom Park in the 6th District. We have worked together to address landfill issues and approved air quality monitoring system, and we will continue to make progress in this area. I've supported technology upgrades like cybersecurity to protect the county, video recording and streaming of the county commission meetings so that you can watch at home if you're not able to make the meeting, grants to provide courthouse and jail video arraignments. The American Rescue Plan funding, we invested in our employees. We invested in broadband expansion. We invested in affordable housing. And I have said that that's one of the best votes that I've been able to take on the commission because it has helped so many people and so many organizations provide housing and services to people that are at the poverty level. Poverty is a cycle, and you have to make sure that that cycle ends, and that's what those groups are helping to do. We are planning to invest in sewer, like Commissioner Peak stated, and water where we can. We're working to bring broadband to Bradley County. Listen, this is one thing that I hear from residents, not just in the 6th District, but all over Bradley County. It's been slow and it's been painful, but we are definitely making progress, and we are better than where we were 4 years ago. We have partnered with VEC in a grant opportunity that totals $18 million. The county will provide $1.8 million, and hopefully we will get a return on our investment with that. That will be awarded in June. Grants for school Wi-Fi cards and parking lot Wi-Fi. Again, it's a slow process, but we're making progress. Things don't happen on their own, and I cannot take a single credit for all of this. We work together as a team. The mayor, the commission, elected officials, and the department heads. We still have more work to do. Our work to bring broadband to Bradley County continues. We need to work harder to recruit and retain employees, like we've already heard. We need to look for ways to build out necessary infrastructure in a responsible way, like sewer, water, and road improvements. We need to continue to find ways to best support education and prepare our children for the future that they face. Focusing on these areas gives us the opportunity to continue working hard on economic development and recruiting new high-paying jobs for Bradley County. I hope that you have heard today the dedication and hard work that I have shown over the past 4 years on the commission. Elections are always important, and this one isn't any different. Who governs matters. Who makes decisions for the future of our county matters. I ask for your vote and your support to continue working hard for the people of Bradley County for another 4 years. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Tommy Ledford. I'm running for 6th District County Commission, Seat B. They said Seat A. Anyway, I wasn't prepared to make a big speech, which when you're not an elected official, you're not elected yet, you really don't know everything they do know. But I do know what they know. Because Charlotte will tell you, I've been doing this since 2006. I've ran for this. Started out with the late, great Roy Smith. Ralph Creel was an independent. The first time I ran, I was young and dumb, didn't know. I just wanted to do it for something to do. And then it come to become very interesting for me to do this. So in 2000, well, of course, Ralph Creel lost to Mel Griffith, who is a neighbor of mine across the way there. Dr. Mel Griffith, by the way. Great man. Sat down with him a lot. He's in the Valley View Ruatan Club with me. We discussed things a lot. Actually, I went over here a couple of weeks ago. He's kind of been ill. He's getting older, like we all are. Of course, I just had a birthday too, but I'm still working. Now, getting back to the beginning. My name's Tommy Ledford, like I said. I've been born and raised in this county in 1963. I was born at Bradley Memorial Hospital. Started working at Bradley Memorial Hospital in 1979. Still there today, just left there. Beautiful, wonderful place to work. Talk about it at the hospital all you want to. I hear it all day long. I get on the phone, I get out. I've been campaigning and talking to people, and of course the first thing they do is they just bash the crap out of the hospital, and that's fine, bash it. But when you're in need, I know where you come to. COVID, we talked about COVID for a moment. COVID was terrible. Did I get laid off from work? Did I get to stay home? No, sir. I was right there every day, right there with the mess of it all. People complaining, I hear it all day long, don't wear that mask, don't wear that mask. Well, don't wear it if you don't want to. Ask any of these commissioners here that when I walk into that room, what do I have on my face? I have my mask in my pocket. Go ahead and play your game and don't take this serious, and let's see what happens to you. My brother-in-law, Scott Alford, #1 heavyweight lifting champion in the world, not in the United States, in the world. All right? Very political. Didn't want to hear it about COVID. Didn't believe it. Wasn't going to believe it. #1 strongest man in the state of Tennessee to live 10 times his weight. Worked at the Juvenile Detention Center for 18 years. Me and him would argue all the time. Yeah, I'd say, Scott, don't be stupid. Go get the shot. And I don't care if you don't get it or not. Don't get it. I put bunches in bags, and that's fine. I've watched them, and I wished a lot of times that when I hear this mess about COVID and they didn't, nobody wants to do nothing about it, I wished I could just get a recording of you listening to those patients on the ventilator struggling to get their breath because they were ignorant and didn't take the shot. Now, I'm not calling you ignorant if you didn't take it. That's your business. But don't say nothing happens. But getting back to my brother-in-law, the night he come into the hospital, they had been to the football game, the Jamboree in Chattanooga. His son, Colby, works at the hospital. He's an RN now. He come, and I just feel led. I know this is here to tell about us, but I want to tell you this story. And he went to the Jamboree, and he had COVID. They laid him off. They just, he had to stay out from work, quarantining. He was 9 days out quarantining. He called his sister, which is my wife, Darlene Alford Ledford, not Louis' daughter either, by the way. And he said, hey, I'm struggling. You could hear him struggling on the phone. I'm just struggling. My wife talked to him and said, Tom, something's wrong with him. Because I've been in the medical field for a long time. Worked in surgery for 30 years. But he was struggling. So he goes to the hospital, and he goes to ER, and he calls Darlene. He said, what should I do? And I said, go in to the hospital, and we'll be right up there. So he gets in there, and he gets in the hospital, and they admit him to the hospital. They diagnose him. Yes, he has COVID because he's been quarantined for 9 days. So the process starts. This is a Saturday night. Monday morning, I go see him. He's still in the ER. Of course, we're packed. Packed. The place is packed. It's better now. But anyway, let's make a long story short. 13 days later, I stood in this room, SICU room 10, and watched him die. Watched him die. You know why he died? Because he just didn't make the decision. Does that have anything to do with the 6th District County Commission seat? No. I don't know why, I just slipped off on it, and there we go. But anyway, I want to bring accountability, honesty, and transparency back to the 6th District, Seat B. I just think the people need the voice, and I think both commissioners, Seat A, which is Tim Mason, and Ms. Erica Davis, I think both those votes always need to be the same no matter what, like Charlotte and Howard, always together. Because you're not representing it if one votes yes and one votes no. It's not representation. You do. And let me just mention, I'm on the HCI committee. I was at that committee at the inception. From the sale of the hospital, we get the money, we retain the funds, and we're talking about Freedom Park. We've done the walking track around Freedom Park, Black Fox. I can't name everything we've done on the HCI. I've been on it for the last 12 years. Thank goodness that the commissioners now haven't taken me off there, because Lisa Stansberry will tell you I'm a mouth. I like to mouth off a lot, which I like to get things done that benefit the citizens of Bradley County. He's just signaling me, so I know, just thank goodness it's the last one. Thank you all, appreciate your vote. April the 13th for early voting, and the election day, May 3rd. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Again, we'll be back on Tuesday for our final Chamber of Commerce Forum. As Tuesday, the 12th, the Bradley County Mayor. We'll have the, what else we got? We got Bradley County Board of Education and the Bradley County Road Superintendent. So we'll be back there for all of us. Thanks to the candidates. Thank you for watching on behalf of Mike Griffin and the staff here at the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce. I'm Steve Hardline. Good day.